Wide receivers, A+. I'm putting Deebo Samuel in this group and the running back group, but I'm having him here. I mean, look, he had 1,400 receiving yards playing with Jimmy Garoppolo and doubling as a running back and splitting targets with Kittle and Ayuk. 1,400 receiving yards. Led the league in yards per catch, Deebo, even though he has a quarterback who has a phobia of throwing down the field. Most of those yards are after the catch. I don't know if most of them are. A huge percentage of those yards were after the catch. Deebo Samuel, in my opinion, was the best player in the league this year. He was the best wide receiver in the league. He was the best running back in the league. He was the best player in the league. I'm not going to call him a wide back. He was multiple positions. He was a quarterback at one point when the Niners needed him to be one, and he threw a touchdown pass. Deebo Samuel, I mean, he saved. Let's just go back. Not just the numbers, but they were in Chicago losing at halftime, about to lose to the Bears and have their season go up in smoke. If they lost that game to the Bears, I bet you Trey Lance would have started the rest of the season. Maybe it would have been for the best. But there was 3rd and 20. They were down. Second half. He gets a screen pass, goes 83 yards. Niners win the game. That probably saved the season. Then in the NFC Championship game, he had that 44-yard screen that went for a touchdown, which, I mean, was the play of the game for them. Also had a touchdown pass week 18 when they were down and needed to get back in the game, and they just kept handing off to him and Mitchell, and finally he threw the touchdown pass. Best wide. I mean, I saw Cooper Kupp in person 3 times this year. Cooper Kupp is a phenomenal wide receiver. He's really good. Deebo's better. Just imagine this guy if he had Matthew Stafford. He wouldn't have. Deebo Samuel ran the ball 80 times after week 9 and got like 30-something, 34 catches. He had to go play running back because the Niners can't trust Jimmy Garoppolo to throw more than 25 passes a game. If Stafford was the quarterback here, Deebo might have had 2,000 receiving yards. He might have broken Jerry Rice records. And he still had 1,400 yards. And he's just one of the guys. Brandon Ayuk. Dude was in the doghouse for the first half of the year because Kyle thought Trent Sherfield had a better camp. No offense to Trent Sherfield. But what? Brandon Ayuk was... They still didn't even explain, ever, what it was about Brandon Ayuk. Was it his blocking? Was it his route running? Was it... There are a million theories. It was never clearly communicated from the team to the player or to the media what it was. There's a million theories. Some people say it's his route running. Some people say it was his blocking. Some people say it was his effort in training camp. Some people say it was because he was showing up Jimmy Garoppolo on the field when Garoppolo would miss him or not see him. Who knows? Never was clearly communicated. It doesn't really matter, though, because he's really good. One of the better number 2 wide receivers in the league. And on the Niners, he's a number 3 option. He might be the best number 3 option in the league because Kittle's the number 2 option here, although not down the stretch. I mean, he's in the doghouse the first half of the year. They go 3-5. They finally get him incorporated in the offense. He finishes the year when targeted, Niners quarterbacks have a rating of 118.5 this year with Ayuk, meaning tops on the team, by the way, meaning good things freaking happen when you throw to Ayuk. Had a really good divisional playoff game and NFC Championship. Had the one target in Green Bay, dropped it, looked like a fumble, wasn't a fumble, never got another opportunity, but would have had a huge game-sealing catch in Dallas, but Jimmy sailed the ball over his head. Ayuk was a really good player this year, is a good player. And again, imagine if he had a quarterback who was really good. What if Ayuk was on the Chiefs and instead of 25 targets to go around, there were 40? What if Ayuk was on the Chiefs in that Sammy Watkins role, which is what the role he's in here? The problem is they don't have Mahomes. They have Jimmy. So Ayuk was excellent. And then Jawan Jennings was buried on the depth chart because Kyle Shanahan thought Mohamed Sanu was having a revival year, which he wasn't. Everyone was talking about how great Sanu was in training camp. He wasn't. Then he took all these targets away from Ayuk and Jennings too. Mostly Jennings the first half of the year. Didn't deserve it. Did nothing with those. Jennings comes in, and then at the end of the season, the 49ers quarterback rating when targeting him is 114. 114. He's their secret weapon. I mean, by the end of the season, he was catching wide open touchdown passes on crucial drives because everyone was trying to double Kittle and Deebo. You know what I mean? They were focused on Kittle, Deebo, Ayuk. Boom, Jennings wide open touchdown. He's their new Kendrick Bourne. He might be better than Bourne ever was. Bourne would drop passes. Jennings, they both have big, strong hands, and they have focus drops. Like they'll just drop easy passes, but tough catches they'll make. And the one that Jennings made in the NFC Championship game, it was a 3rd and 10. Gotta have it. He caught it 2 yards in front of the marker because that's where Jimmy hit him. Got smacked, spun backward, went back to like this like 4 yards behind the marker, and then dove forward to get the first down, to get like a 12-yard gain on 3rd and 10. It was amazing. I love that play. Juwan Jennings is a really good number 3 wide receiver. The Niners have maybe the best wide receiver trio in the league, but you never know it because they have to be a run-first team because of Jimmy Garoppolo. Imagine if they had Stafford or Trey Lance. Imagine if they had Trey Lance. Oh, they do have Trey Lance. Anyway, A+ for the wide receivers. I thought this supporting cast the Niners had this season was phenomenal. And now I've given 2 A+. A+ for the defensive line. A+ for the wide receivers. A- for the linebackers. A- for the tight ends. What a team this was. And it didn't even go to the Super Bowl. Debo saved Jimmy, so he didn't save the season. Without Debo in Chicago, Trey would have had first ring now. Yeah, man. Debo is the reason that Jimmy Garoppolo lasted. My friend is building a snack stadium for the Super Bowl, but his wife is not allowing him to put wings in it. But all of the food is okay. Any advice? That's arbitrary. What's wrong with wings? How come wings can't go in the snack stadium? Push harder. That's arbitrary. What are we talking about here? Who's mad? What are you guys talking about? Sibilla? I can talk about this thing Sibilla said at the end about Nick Bosa. You guys are really mad about that? Why don't you bring it up with her? I can talk about that at the end, though. Herd comeback tour. Ha! No, absolutely not.